load, it's called the bionic, the bomb, the puff, the blow, the black, the herb, the sensei, the chronic, the sweet Mary Jane, ganja, spliff, reefer, the bud, the Buddha, the homegrown, the ill, the Maui, the method, pop, lethal, turbo, Thai, shake, skunk, stress, wacky, weed, blaze, the boot, dime bag, Scooby-Doo, Bob, bogey, backyard boogie.
It's the Gallery Show! That's yes.
And that's Sasha.
And we are live. We almost nailed that open. Almost. Well, I almost nailed it. You always nail it. You always get it. That's TS, and I'm Sasha, and we are live on Monday on Adobe Radio. We are not together again. This is a sacrifice. We actually just were together like a half hour ago, but I want to show off my sign one more week. And then you can find it on our YouTube whenever you want. But and we'll probably be back at the Adobe Radio Studios. But and because I do miss the yo. But I just love our sign. Look at it.
It has both of our beautiful faces in neon. Did I ever think that I would see my face in neon? Yes.
Did you? Yeah, I feel like the answer to that is yes. And it has my Lexi girl. Like the Sublime Dalmatian vibe, I feel like it's giving. And she's like the Cool Nerd Weed Show, Jack Russell Terrier. Our sign is pretty literally, and I wanted to show it off one more week, and schedule permitted us to do so. So we will continue to be live just like we always are forever and ever and ever, but we may not be together sometimes because for no reason. Like we could actually do it from the same house. Or from the same studio.
Yeah, we could.
Whatever. If you don't, if you haven't seen the sign, you can go to our YouTube. You can look at it. Our Instagram is kind of not suppressing us. I mean, I am currently smoking a J, so this will not be on our Instagram, but we've been posting some clips that have not gotten too removed. We're still up there. We're on the Adobe Radio grid too. At Adobe Radio is where you should go for every single thing. We have so much good shit going on Adobe. So go check all of that out for realsies. It's like the place to be. And we on that Adobe tip for like 10 years now. No, like 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. We go through this all the time for a long time. And that we always knew Adobe Radio was the bestest. So thank you, Adobe Radio, for being the bestest. But Cool Nerd Weed Show is where you can find us everywhere. Just Google.
Globally.
Worldwide.
Worldwide nerds.
We have a replay now at 5 a.m., which is prime time for the other side of the world. So if you're listening in the other side of the world, live, that's awesome. You didn't expect to hear the Cool Nerd Weed Show, but here we are, and I'm glad you're listening.
Shout out Australia, New Zealand.
Australia always gives us love. Always. I think I listened to us when I was in Tokyo, so maybe we boosted Tokyo.
That was you? Good work.
So yeah, follow us everywhere. Find us everywhere. We are very responsive. You can like DM us or anything that you want, and we will talk to you. We posted a very emotionally charged episode. Not really last week. We just gave you the facts. We gave you the straight facts. You know? Yeah.
It was that was a fun episode, and we got a little bit of a little hate mail.
We did.
And that was funny. We do every now and then. We get a little bit of hate mail
from the same kind of person. He was like,
always. And we just we kill them with kindness.
Yes. You were like, thanks for listening.
Which part triggered you? Which part triggered you, you goon?
I gotta turn my ring light on. Yeah. Which part triggered you? Yeah. It's a wild world out there, but we did warn you. We did. We did a whole thing in the beginning, and I'll do it again. That like come on, man. It's like an election year here in the U.S. of states. So things are getting gnarly out here. We got to talk about it. We're on a show that talks about politically charged things. Am I screaming in your ear? Am I bothering you?
No, you're.
Because I feel like I'm screaming, and I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
Am I bothering?
I had you turned all the way up, so I'm enjoying this.
Okay, good. Because I can't hear anything. Well, I can hear myself, obviously, but I'm pretty deaf, so I have no concept of what is loud and what is not.
Well, you're asking the wrong guy.
I am. I know. I don't know why I posed that question. It just looked like I was bothering you. Bunch of deaf musicians / radio people who are on the air right now. But any hooters, and I did get animated. It's an election year. We have to talk about these things, and we have to be grown-ups about it. If you have a differing opinion, that's totally cool. There's room for you too. We just have the microphone at this moment, and there are tons of other podcasters who probably would share your opinion. You can listen to them as well. You don't have to, but we would love you to stay with us because we love weed and we love you. But we will be saying some shit. We will be honest with you about some things. So that's just and we are honest about the weed industry too. It's not just the politicking. So I just wanted to say that disclaimer. There will be politics in this episode. Trigger warning. This is going to be a political episode. Again, this is August. We're not in August yet. It's July 29th, 2024. The year of our TS. And and there's an election coming up. And we're trying to not lose the country to Donald Trump, who arguably was objectively pretty bad, and that's just, again, our opinion. And we have in the past been critical of Kamala Harris. Quite. She was a district attorney for California, but you got to be critical of your leaders, and leaders can grow, and we've always said that. We've always said that about all of our leaders. They can grow, they can learn, they can change their opinions. I bet Joe Biden did never think he was going to pass no marijuana law when he was just running for Senate,
Totally. People can change and evolve in their political leanings for better or for worse.
Certainly. I think Donald Trump was a registered Democrat at some point.
At one point, Donald Trump was a registered Democrat. Donated to the Kamala Harris. He did. Campaign at one point in her career.
Yes. And I breathed a bit of a sigh of relief. And we will say, like, very recent shows, we were kind of being a little critical of, a lot critical of Kamala, because we just felt like enough wasn't getting done in terms of the weed stuff, the cannabis reform, and all that good jazzercise. And we still were pretty up until like right after the debates, and we still will be, I'm sure. But like, I was pretty relieved when I woke up the next day after Joe announced his pulling out of the race, and Kamala seemed to be the front runner and was like embracing it and doing all the things she needed to do to get out to people and saying things that need to be said. So, I'm ready. I'm ready to see like what she can do. I've been ready. Like, I've been ready to see Kamala in action. So I'm down.
We have been ready and waiting. So the time is now. Kamala's getting out of here, getting out there and doing the thing, shaking hands, kissing babies, saying all the good things about cannabis that she needs to. Let's see some action. Kamala needs to, and the party is going to be picking a VP sooner than later, because we're like 100 days until election day.
Yeah, and the DNC is like
the DNC is very soon.
So things need to be decided. And she has until the DNC, but they quote unquote think she's going to pick sooner. just get out there. You know, it's funny. Before Joe said he was not going to run, Pete Buttigieg was on, I think it was Bill Maher, and just like gave a stunning performance. Like I was like, ooh, okay, like missed you, Pete Buttigieg, and I was like, God damn it, like wouldn't it be wonderful if he was involved? And he's been out there, just like dropping mics all over the place, which has been nice to see.
Totally. Pete Buttigieg is one of the most thoughtful people.
I love him.
In politics.
Yeah,
these
he's got
days.
A big future. That kid, you heard it here first.
He's really going places. No, seriously. Like every time you hear him speak on anywhere, he, like you said, he's dropping mics, he's dropping facts, he's completing his point, he's shredding those fucking doubters and all, and exactly.
But I don't think he's going to be VP.
I don't know. I don't think so either. I don't think it's going to be Pete Buttigieg.
He wasn't on. It sounds like you like saying his name. He wasn't
Pete
on
Buttigieg.
The CNN or whatever I was watching kept showing the list of VP candidates, and he wasn't on it one day, and then the next day he had done like a bunch of press, and the next day he was on there. I was like, I wonder who just like stuck him on there. Was it CNN, or did Kamala like officially say that she was thinking about him? But I just don't think that that's what's going to happen. So, but we are going to go over the VPs that are seemingly in the running, and we're going to go over their cannabis policy and what they stand for and what we could look forward to. Because if Kamala snags this race and or this nomination, she will be the first person ever to be like down with cannabis. I mean, aside from like our founding fathers, who you can listen to the President's Day episode. We're very down with weed.
Let's okay, should we just jump right in?
Yes. So yeah, we're gonna that's what we're gonna do. Let's just do it. All right. So possibly the front runner of for vice president is Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear. And he was in attendance when Kamala Harris had the round table with Fat Joe the Gangsta. Oh yeah,
to confirm,
right. He was. Yeah.
So Governor Andy Beshear signed the medical cannabis legalization bill into law last year. He has been closely aligned with the Biden-Harris administration on cannabis policies, and he wants people pardoned. He's for the social equity. Signed off on medical cannabis in his state earlier this year, which is just round of applause.
Yeah. However, he is not very well known outside of Kentucky. So
yes, that is.
But you were listening to the show, so spread the word.
That is one of his sort of downfalls. One of it, yeah. But which actually puts him down a couple of points for name recognition, branding. He hasn't quite branded himself properly yet, but we're here to let you know that the governor of Kentucky is on board.
Yes.
With your cannabis needs.
Yes. So
and policies.
If you're wondering that if Andy Beshear makes it in there, then we can feel good about it because he's ready. He's like totally down. You won't get any argument from him. which is good. I feel like 2 people who are for it is probably better than nobody, which is what we've been dealing with. Marijuana Moment, this is what we're pulling from, lists Pete Buttigieg next as one of the potentials. But like, he's not on every list that we're looking at. Like, well, I guess he is on this next list, but he is also on ABC News. News is less likely. So we'll go over what he feels anyway, just because he'll probably run for president one day and you'll want to know.
Pete Buttigieg.
Oh, wait, he did run for president, right?
Yeah, there was
we had the primary or whatever, like, and it was like 85 candidates.
We did. Because everybody was running for president in 2020 because Obama was leaving. Mm-hmm. So it was wide open. So anybody could have, like, if I had enough backing, we could have run in 2020.
There was a lot of people.
There was a lot of people
running. Yeah, it got hectic.
I guess that's, for most people, that was probably the first place that you heard of U.S. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg. Right?
Yeah.
So, he campaigned on marijuana legalization. One of his campaign stops was in a dispensary in Las Vegas in 2019.
Okay.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Kamala, I have a place where you can come down and say hello.
Yeah, if you want to meet a couple of nerds,
we'll go live.
Yeah, that would be great. Well, she was at Comic-Con this past weekend on a Simpsons panel, so I feel like she'd be down.
I think so. It's totally possible. I'm going to keep manifesting, and if I keep saying it on the air, she's going to hear this. Somebody's going to clip this. This shit's going to go viral. Next thing you know, it's going to... And we'll have Kamala right there with us and the sign in neon.
Yeah, we'll add a POTUS, a potential POTUS. Yeah, no, keep manifesting it. I think it's possible. She seems down, and she seems to want to answer questions and be out there. And so does Pete Buttigieg. It would be great, but we don't think, or I don't want to speak for you, but I don't think that it's going to be him. But obviously, if it were, that'd be super.
Pete Buttigieg is in the top 3. I think he's got a good shot.
Pretty high. Okay.
As he was a former mayor of South Bend, Indiana, and he actually proposed decriminalizing possession of all drugs.
Wow.
So,
what a guy.
And it's quote, a sentence has done more harm than the offense that it was intended to deal with. So, when it comes to low level drug offenses. So, he's compassionate. He's a compassionate human being, which is one thing that we need in government is fucking compassion for your fellow man.
Yeah. No, that's what this industry was about at first, was compassion and helping out each other with what we have access to safely. And he seems to understand that, and he's from like the real like heartland, and he actually did do, even in just like the Department of Transportation, like he helped like drivers and cannabis reform and stuff like that. He's like, I don't know, he's like tried to create protections for them, didn't he? For something?
Yeah, because there was like a nationwide shortage of truck drivers.
Right,
and
it was.
They didn't want people to actually be disqualified in legal states where you can consume cannabis for consuming cannabis on your off time to relax.
Makes sense.
So, he wanted to open up opportunity for people that might not have had opportunity before because you've smoked a little cannabis. So compassion to your fellow man.
Yeah, so Pete Buttigieg would be great. Who knows what he'll wind up being in the future, what role he'll wind up taking. Hopefully it's a very high-placed one, or a VP. Who freaking knows? So that is his that is his position. on it. Okay, so who's next?
Oh, let's see. North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper.
Roy Cooper from North Carolina. So tell me about Roy Cooper.
You might not know a lot about Roy Cooper from North Carolina, but let's see. Roy Cooper has called on legislation to advance legislation to decriminalize cannabis in North Carolina. In the South, he's an advocate for the passage of medical marijuana legalization, and but it keeps getting stalled in his state. So, Roy Cooper, North Carolina, is on board with all of the policies that we love regarding cannabis, but he's getting stalled in North Carolina. So if you're in North Carolina, you should, and you love cannabis and cannabis rights, you should register to vote, and vote these other politicians out of office that are stymieing Governor Cooper's plans to actually reform cannabis law in North Carolina.
Yeah. It seems like North Carolina might need him, because if he goes, then if he goes, there's going to be a Republican taking his place, and it's a controversial one.
Damn it! I did not think of that at all. North Carolina probably needs him. Does the country need him more?
Right, that could be. I don't want to take away what his hopes and dreams may be, but he might have some work to do.
By the numbers, he's a low favorite in the race. Also, name recognition and branding is his followers. They're if we're talking like influencer numbers, they're not quite there for VP.
For sure. He might just have to cook a little bit more, and that's okay. It's okay, but he's on the list. That's who he is. Some of us haven't heard these names just yet. I know we talk about the cannabis reform in every state, but I don't remember everybody's name, and these guys just kind of appeared on our radar, except for a few of them. So I think it's worthy to note who these dudes are and what they stand for, especially with weed. So we're going to take a break real quick, and then we're going to come back and talk about this some more. I hope this is entertaining. I think it is.
Yes, and informative.
And that's that's what we aim to do. Okay, so we will be right back in just a sec.
The nerds will be right back. It's never too late to join the sesh.
We salute you, the United States of cannabis, under all 50 strains, one pre-roll, under bong.
The Cool Nerd Weed Show on Adobe Radio.
Yeah. And we're back.
We're back.
It's the Cool Nerd Weed Show, and we are united. What does he say? United something under bong.
Under bong.
Fucking fish.
One strain under bong.
I love him so much. And welcome back to the Cool Nerd Weed Show on Adobe Radio. Thank you, Adobe, for all that you are and all that you do. And we are talking about the vice presidential candidate or nominees or potential nominees for Kamala Harris, who is now currently our presumptive presidential nominee. But who fucking knows? The world is crazy. I feel like, what are the names of the Simpsons aliens? I feel like
Kane and Kodos.
Kane and Kodos are gonna come down. For real though, and something weird is gonna happen, and who knows? It's gonna be Independence Day. But what,
I'm really loving your dystopian vision of the future. It's been
That's all I can do. Independence Day, but with weed, because all these guys are cool with weed. So
continuing on down, we have some of this was kind of, I don't remember 4 years ago. However, Arizona voted blue.
Yeah, well, a lot of things went blue. A lot of places went blue 4 years ago. I remember there was like 3 or 4 that were like, "Whoa, we did not expect them to cross over," and they did. So we have a representative from Arizona.
Yeah, the next up, and also according to polls right now, the front runner, Senator Mark Kelly from Arizona.
Arizona, my bad.
Arizona.
Yes. Arizona, Senator Mark Kelly. Now, Mark Kelly is interesting to me for all sorts of reasons. But what's his stance on cannabis?
Well, during his time in the Senate, Kelly has signed on multiple versions of the Senate bill that would provide banking access to state legal marijuana businesses, as well as a separate legislation to effectively legalize cannabis for veterans.
I love it. That's so important.
So banking access and veterans access. Like, you've got my vote.
Totally. That's so important. So to make that an issue to spend time on is that shows he has good priorities.
Also, if you don't really trust him, he was an astronaut and he's a military veteran himself. So he's smart.
Yes.
And he's a military man. So
he checks all those patriotic boxes.
Yes. Those things are important to you, then Senator Kelly,
that's your guy.
He's your guy.
He was married to Gabby Giffords, who you didn't know. I was like, Gabby Giffords, and you were like, who?
Well, for a second, I know who she is, but at first I was like, from American Idol? And I was completely wrong.
Oh. No, not that one. No, that's okay. But they get confused all the time. But she was the one who got shot in the face some years ago by a constituent, and so he is also pretty big on gun reform. Again, if that is something that is important to you, then that may be an issue that you care about for somebody to be in top billing. The gun stuff. So that's something to think about too. He's an interesting character to me. I want to see these guys talk. Just side note, I want to see them talk. I feel like it's so difficult. Well, I mean, we've seen them talk, but I want to see them talk about being vice president. It doesn't have to be in a debate. It could be a town hall or something. They did that for the 85 Democratic nominees in 2020. They held 80. There were
so many
town
hall meetings, and there's less people running, but there may be more town hall meetings now that
I guess it's the
VP is open. Yeah,
and
for
it's
real.
Mad dash. It really is kind of a quick. Things need to be turned around quickly. So brand recognition is importante.
Yeah, so Senator Mark Kelly is favored by 22%. Brand recognition is at over 40%. So his influencer stats are right there. They're right in. They're high. He is going to get the best endorsements.
That's good.
All of the promo codes, all of the affiliates are on board.
Yeah.
He's got He's got Untuck It.
Yeah. Use code VP for 10% off your first order of Harry and David. Yeah, well, that's not even a joke, because Kamala Harris's social media team, they've been putting their back into it. Like they really are working very, very hard. I get a kick out of all of it, so I think that it's good that she's doing this. I think I think they'd be a good team. They seem like they would be powerful in terms of getting things done. Again, both for cannabis reform, so we likely see some good progress there. So that's your boy from Arizona.
By the time I get to Arizona, next up we have, and you were just there, Maryland Governor Westmoreland. Maryland Governor Wes Moore.
Westmoreland?
Then we'd all be screwed if Westmoreland was running for vice president.
I feel like that might be the thing to save us all.
Please don't write him in.
I wasn't in Maryland.
Wes Moore. Oh,
I didn't go to Maryland.
You weren't?
Did I? I don't remember.
Were you in, maybe you were in Delaware?
I was in Delaware. Same thing.
Close.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
Maryland.
Yeah, I was in Delaware. But like you could see, Maryland from your backyard.
So Maryland Governor Wes Moore.
Every part of this was like amazing. Wes Moore, your boy from Maryland.
Yes, he's been an outspoken advocate for cannabis reform. If obviously he's in Baltimore, so he's been focused on repairing the racial disparity and the harm from prohibition. He was elected in 2022, and during that same cycle, voters approved legalization. So Maryland has implemented its reform.
We talked about this. He granted mass pardon, 175K convictions related to marijuana and paraphernalia. We waited. We wanted to talk about Maryland for so long, and for some reason, like we couldn't fit it in. And then we were like, we gotta talk about Maryland, and we did, and we were so happy, and it changed our entire moods and lives forever. Just like it changed the people who got the records expunged, or whatever wound up happening with you. Lives are changed, and he did that, so that's pretty cool. I like this guy too.
I love him too. Governor from Maryland, Wes Moore. He would, but his name recognition and his branding, he's not even on this particular chart that I have.
No, that's too bad.
Yeah,
that's too bad. Yeah,
so maybe it's not his time, but Maryland Governor Wes Moore, he's not going away, and he will still be in politics. And if you're in Maryland, you should support this guy. For sure. Yeah, he's relatively would you say 2022? Yeah.
And he's a baby. He's got, again, time to cook, time to let it simmer and get your good policies out there, get your home state in order, and I love the phrase, get your ducks in a row. I feel like it really encapsulates what it means. And sometimes you gotta have all your ducks in a row. I often don't feel like my ducks are in a row, but when I do, it's like a very satisfying feeling. So I feel like these senators / whatevers of their states, they can still work on their states, and the government will need them and does need them soon, but it's okay. I'm just trying to make them feel better if they don't get it.
Yeah.
I'm just trying, just in case they're sad. I don't want them to be sad.
Wes Moore, he's done so much already for his state. he launched a cannabis workforce development that helps support industry people who have been criminalized for cannabis over the years, and also to make it lawful and responsible use for parents and guardians, that if they use cannabis, then it's not going to be considered neglect.
Yeah.
So somebody can't call fucking child services because they smelled you consuming your cannabis in a legal way.
Yeah. No, he did a ton of stuff already. He's on the psychedelics train. He's like ready for that to be explored. No, he's open-minded when it comes to this stuff, and has shown proof of, change and enacting change. So he should be on everybody's radar for something big, something important, because he's got good ideas.
You got a future in this.
Yeah. You should go into politics. Who's next?
Next up, from the great state of California, Governor Gavin Newsom.
Woo, USA. Wait, no, California.
California.
Oh yeah, that is our official. That's our official state anthem.
Or California, Uber Alles. California, Uber Alles. Uber Alles. California. So
these are really good. Really good. You should sing them before Dodgers games. You should sing them when the Olympics come. Okay.
My God.
So your boy from California, we are beloved. Well, I don't know. We go back and forth with we love Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom's a good guy.
He is overall we love him.
I'd say we love him. Maybe we've had a word or two with him in regards, but you know what? He's been very supportive of weed. So I feel like that is one thing that he has been really consistent on, and that makes me happy. Good old Gavin.
Yeah, Gavin has he's been on board with cannabis for a long time.
Certainly has. He certainly has.
Also, what else? Gavin Newsom also is, working. He's been criticized for trying to legalize psychedelics for adult use as well, and creating harm reduction pilot programs and safe sites for drug use. Which is very much, we talk about harm reduction all the time, and it's important to us. And Gavin Newsom has been, he's been chastised for these beliefs.
Totally, constantly. And I think this country could really benefit. Well, not I think. I know this country could really benefit from harm reduction and learning about harm reduction. I feel like it's really. For us, it's obviously extremely important, and yeah, we do talk at length about it. But I think it really should be kind of expanded to not just everybody should have access to harm reduction, not just people in California. So, and in certain parts, and I feel like that is something he can really bring to the table is the stance on harm reduction with his home state duo. Wait, can't you not have two people who are home states, who are Californians or something? Oh no, wait, they're not from the same. Wait, did I make that up?
Yeah, I don't think
I did make that up.
I don't
Why did I think that? I thought you couldn't.
I don't think that would disqualify you.
Okay. That wouldn't make sense. She's been VP. She's not even from. Okay,
yeah,
no, it's fine. It's fine. Who cares? I didn't even know he was. I mean, I knew he was going to be in the running. I thought he was going to be more in the running for the prez. Because I felt like people were going to be. I felt like there was going to be more of a frenzy of people who were coming forward to maybe put themselves in the running. I'm grateful there wasn't, but I thought he was going to, because I feel like they were kind of like whispers of that for some reason. Everybody was like, oh, imagine if Gavin Newsom ran. Like, I was like, where did I hear that? Like the streets?
Yeah, there was definitely the streets of California were definitely whispering that Governor Gavin Newsom was going to be a potential presidential candidate at one point, and very might well be in the future. But according to I think we still need him here in California, but according to the influencer polls that I'm looking at, he does test well, but he's not even on the list.
No, he is.
Which I think it's just realistic. Maybe he already said no.
Yeah, he did. He's not. He's got to do more stuff here. He knows he's got to do more stuff here, so he's going to do more stuff here. But in terms of weed, I think and in terms of harm reduction and all the other good stuff that comes along with not stigmatizing things, our country could really use that. I think it would help a lot of things in this country to destigmatize and start to tackle that area of life. So maybe he'll be, maybe she'll appoint him somewhere, Kamala.
An appointment.
Harris. Oh my God, imagine. Oh, please let her read it. Okay, so
let's move on to some of these other more influential people. Do we have there it is, Pennsylvania. Let's move our way down to Pennsylvania. Governor Josh Shapiro.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, Josh Shapiro. He's been out here.
Yeah. Governor Josh Shapiro has actually pushed lawmakers to deliver a bill to legalize adult use in the state of Pennsylvania.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
I don't know what they're waiting for.
He's been down with it for a while. I don't know. Pennsylvania seems like they got a little push-pull here, but he's been down for a minute. He knows what the deal is. He's looked around the country and he's been like, look at all this stuff that's happening for these states. We can really benefit from this. So he's trying to get it legalized. But I feel like the steps that they've made, I think, in terms of cannabis have been notable, and they're getting there,
Pennsylvania does have medical cannabis in place, but Governor Shapiro feels that they are way behind. He's surrounded by states that have legalization, and
totally.
You could just cross the border and easily get your cannabis. That's on you, though. I'm not a lawyer, but that's how people are doing it. Yeah, people are setting up shops right on the border of states that don't have access to cannabis.
Well, think about before, when New York and New Jersey were in their limbo for legalizing, it was well, you can't be long after one goes to the other, because literally you can walk to New Jersey over to New York. Yeah. So it was they had to do it. So Pennsylvania, he knows that everybody's coming from all directions with their cannabises from their surrounding states. It's probably annoying him. He's probably we could be making all of this monies and we could be fixing a lot of things about our state. I actually really like Pennsylvania. I feel like that's for some reason a hot take, but it is. I really do. I know. I love it. I've had nothing but good experiences there. I enjoy the people that I know from there. I know.
Well, yeah, it gets your stamp of approval.
It does.
I grew up near Erie, Pennsylvania. The Mistake on the Lake.
You did. Beautiful countryside.
Well, the countryside, yes. We grew up in an industrial wasteland.
You did, yeah. Well,
however,
you're on the other side.
I've been all over. I've been to Lancaster, beautiful Amish country.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Amish country.
Apparently
great experiences Amish country.
Apparently, the Amish are on board with with cannabis. I'm seeing
that
pictures of these farmers markets, and they've been growing their crops for hundreds of years. So I would go support the Amish cannabis in Pennsylvania.
That's awesome. That's so fucking cool. Imagine they like legalize and like the Amish just like dominate the legal cannabis market. I don't know why that would like give me life.
Well, Pennsylvania is going to catch up with legal cannabis soon, and Governor Josh Shapiro is actually like sort of he's in the top 5. He's definitely in the top 10 of potential vice presidential candidates.
Okay.
Got a pretty good favor among Democrats, and the name is fairly recognizable.
Great.
And Pennsylvania voted him in, and Pennsylvania is Pennsylvania considered a swing state?
I think they swung the last election. So yeah, I would think so.
Oh yeah, they
did.
did.
Worry about it. Like everybody was worried. I was in Pennsylvania when they swung. It was the swung felt all over the streets. No, it was. Yeah, they can go either way. I think. So yeah, I think that would be, that would be nice. His name I've heard mentioned a lot. There's we do have to go to one more break, but I want to finish this with the Minnesota governor. Is he on Marijuana Moment?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, the Minnesota governor is really like, I really like this guy too. I feel like this dude is solid, but I feel like the name is the issue. Take it away. In 2 minutes.
Oh, yes.
No, now.
Okay.
No, now, but like the time you do it should be 2 minutes. I could see how you took that the other way there.
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz is another potential VP candidate who has personally signed marijuana legislations into law in the state of Minnesota. A lot of people are saying that they're coming from Minnesota and you can buy like cannabis drinks in liquor stores.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Cool. So Governor Tim Walz was was on board with all of the legislation that was circulating throughout our government regarding like the States Act and the bills to push descheduling, rescheduling, all of it. He's been on board with all of that. Yeah. What's the other another member in of Minnesota who has been a long champion of cannabis reform is the WWE's own Jesse the Body Governor Ventura.
I fucking love Jesse Ventura.
Actually saw him wrestle in Buffalo.
Sick. In the wastelands. Yeah, I like love Jesse Ventura. He's a fun time, and it has always been ahead of the curve on the issues. So these are all great dudes. We do have to go to break. So you feel comprehensive about our coverage on the VPs for cannabis?
I do. I swear.
Did you want to
I solemnly swear.
I think so too. I think this is a good list of peeps to choose from. These guys are cool with weed, and that's pretty cool with us. And we'll see what the fuck happens, because it's been very weird for the last couple months. But we're getting there. We're gonna take a break. We'll be right back. We'll be right back.
The final Huff and Puff with TS and Sasha.
Sorry. It's live, baby. We're back. It's the Cool Nerd Weed Show. That's Diaz.
And that's Sasha.
You can edit in the smoke and post. And we are going to end the show with... oh my gosh, I can't find the story. But it is... Okay, so this is something that I'll find it. This is something that we talk about often. And it is the way they are trying to test for driving while under the influence of cannabis. I'm going to find the story while you...
Yeah, so in with Ohio on the verge of legalization sales, they're getting everything. They're growing right now. They're getting their ducks in a row in Ohio for legalization. So also... At the same time, Ohio law enforcement is trying to figure out how to give you a DUI involving your cannabis use. So,
yeah,
they're trying to figure it out right now.
This is scary to me because, so we've talked about how it's pretty difficult to get an accurate reading. Like, it's not like blood alcohol. Where you can breathe into something. It is actual blood. Like, you need actual blood from a person, and it's not easy to test. So they were like, well, okay, we'll just get the policeman to draw blood.
Yeah. So Ohio's answer to this is you send your officers on some classes to detect drugs and impairment. Also, you train several of your officers that can handle the job to be phlebotomists to draw your blood, that's
crazy.
It's fucking crazy.
That's
crazy. That you might be subjected in Ohio to a blood test on the spot.
Oh man, that's scary.
I would not a lawyer, but I would, I'm sure you don't have to consent to that, and you should not consent to that. I'm sure the Pot brothers at law would agree with me.
Yeah.
That do not consent to a blood test on the side of the road.
I can't imagine that would be okay in any circumstance. But damn, do they really want to get you? They really do. We saw another article in, I think it was the fucking Journal or something, and it was like... It's this first sentence. It was behind a paywall, so fuck that. But it said with the legalization of cannabis spreading across the country and likely 175 or something, like some ridiculous number, like 15,000 deaths a year related to cannabis influenced driving or whatever. Like, the word likely was just tucked in there. I was like, where did this...
And then it's behind the paywall.
And then it's behind the paywall. So likely everybody's fucking crashing and dying from weed. Likely. So sources say likely we're all dying from weed.
And likely nobody is going to read past that point.
Likely, yeah. Likely you're not getting these two fucking nerds to pay. I mean, whatever. I guess newspapers are dying. We should support them. But whatever. It's fine. Whatever. You listen to us and we give you all of your newsies because we are passionate about the cannabis stuff. So expect more from us always and forever because it is forever changing. And did you want to?
Yes. The bottom line is if you feel like you've consumed too much cannabis, do not get behind the wheel of a car, a motorcycle, a boat, a truck, an RV.
No,
anything.
Don't do those things. No, don't. Don't do those things. Do not drive while inebriated in any way. You are operating a deadly vehicle that could kill multiple people. So please be responsible about what you do. And also, go vote. That is also what I thought you were going to say. But yes, the thing that you said is very important. But
one more important thing.
Go vote.
Don't panic.
It's organic.